Hey everybody, it's Jeremy from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Red Gohan deck profile. Not really sure how else to refer to this. I'd say Gohan Alliance, but watch them do something else with that. So, to start with, on the Unawakened side, he has the Acts of Pain of once per turn burst 2, so just mill 2. You choose a card from your life out to your hand. Then, if your opponent has 5 or more life, you deal damage to your opponent. So you take a life and then they take a life, but like it's a good way to kind of like force them to awaken and to just do some damage without being defensive. And on the awaken you draw 2 cards into Son Gohan and Son Goten Brotherly Bonds. This side is quite wordy. So it has the auto of Sparking 5, when this card attacks you draw a card. It has the auto of once per turn, when one of your battle cards activates Alliance, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 30k or less power and KO it. So you know, some major kill power there. And it has the activate once per turn, Sparking 5. You choose 3 cards in your hand and place them in the drop. And then all of your red and green battle cards and this card as well gain 10,000 power for the duration of turn. So you dump 3 cards and give everything a nice little boost, which is helpful because obviously it's Alliance, so the more power the thing has that's gaining, well, the more power that the thing has that activates Alliance, the better. Because usually you gain something like Triple Strike, so it makes it hard to stop. As always, going into the extra cards first, and this is a very small list of extra cards compared to most decks. So we have, I'm just going to do them both at the same time. We have 2 copies of Full Power Energy and 2 copies of Unending Awakening. And that's it for extra cards in this version. So they're both negates. Full Power Energy is negate the attack, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 1 or less and KO it. And then you've got Unending Awakening, which is negate the attack, then choose it from one of your red Saiyan lead cards and it gains 5,000 power for the duration of turn. So do 2-2 split on those because like deck has some other negates in there thanks to Gohan, and it's just a nice little way to ensure that you can negate an attack no matter what your energy tap is. And obviously you've got Unending Awakening if you need defensive, and Full Power Energy gets rid of stuff like Ball Ghost and that breed of card. So it just helps out a little. So going into the battle cards, to start with we have 4 copies of our 1-drop, which is Exalted Trio Videl. So she's also, when you play this card, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 red or green Gohan Adolescent, Goten or Trunks Youth, add it to your hand, then place the others on the bottom of the deck in any order. So unlike most ones where you just shuffle them back in, these go to the bottom, but you get a nice little wide range, so can't really complain. Going into the 2-drops now, because that's literally it for the 1-drops. We have 4 copies of Exalted Trio Son Goten, and because it's not very different from it, there's also 4 copies of Exalted Trio Trunks. So these 2 have very similar permanents. So you can only have 1 in play on your battle area, and if you have a Videl of any sort, you can reduce the range cost by 1, so they just become 1-drops. But yeah, you can have like a twin set, which is nice. The main thing that sets them apart though is their autos. So with Trunks, it's when this card attacks, if there's a Son Goten in play in the battle area, this gains 5,000 power and critical for a duration of turn. And Goten's is when this card attacks, if you have a Trunks Youth in play in your battle area, this card gains 5,000 power and double strike. So 1 crits, 1 does double strike. They both kind of like power each other up, which is useful, and because they can both essentially be 1-drops, it means they're quick to play. So next in our 2-drops is our super combos for the deck. So we've got 2 copies of Master Roshi Martial Expert, and 2 copies of Mighty Mass Powers Combined. So Master Roshi is our Sparking Super Combo, where if we have Sparking 5 and he leaves red, you draw a card. Like, it's just because we can, well, our leader mills to begin with, so it's not difficult to build up into. With Mighty Mask, however, it's a little bit more of a personal tech, I feel. So it's also, when you combo with this card, if these cards red and your life is at 4 or less, you choose a card from your hand and place it in the drop. If you do, this gains 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then you choose up to 1 red Sun Goten and up to 1 red Trunks Youth, each with 15 or less power, and add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is really helpful just for deck thinning, because you can find like 1 copy each of the Exalted Trios, or you could run other Gotens and Trunks in there, just because. I haven't, because like it kind of clashes with the deck, and Space Force is kind of tough as it is. But it's a useful super combo for the deck regardless, and I feel like it's a nice little tech to have just to deck thin and get your Trunks and Gotens which you need for other cards in the deck. And finally in the 2 drops we have 3 copies of Videl, Gohan's partner. So she's a 5k blocker with a permanent of, if Gohan Adolescence is in your battle lead area, you can play this card from your hand without paying its cost. So this is kind of the easier way to get the Exalted Trios out, because you can just play, oh, I'm on 1 energy, I'll play Videl, and then I'll play Goten / Trunks with my other energy, and you get 2 in 1 turn. Plus it's a free blocker, so you know, no downsides. So moving on to the 3 drops now. We have 2 copies of Helping Hand Son Gohan. So this is has counter attack of negate the attack and then play this card. And its permanent is, during your opponent's turn, if Goten and Trunks Youth are in play in your battle area, reduce this card, the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, so it just becomes a 1-drop negate. Only run the 2 copies of it though, because quite often when I've played it I've not had that. Plus I have a different Gohan negate in the deck, so it's kind of like, this seems like the best thing to cut down the numbers of. We have 4 copies of Son Gohan, Hope of the People. So this guy has the permanent of, you can only have 1 of him in play at 1 time, and if there's at least 1 Goten, Trunks Youth and Videl card in your drop area, you reduce his cost in your hand by 2. So he becomes a 1-drop with 15k, and it's just there as a target for stuff. Plus, like, he revolves on having the things in the drop, which means he's easier to bring out. Because you just combo them / let the opponent kill them or whatever. Most of the time my opponent just kills them anyway, so it's like, oh, here's Gohan. And finally in the 3 drops we have 4 copies of Son Goku, Heavenly Salvation. So Goku's got 14k, which makes him awkward and funny. And he has 2 auto abilities. So the first one is activate the skill when you play Son Gohan and Son Goten familial bonds in your battle area. So just quickly show you this card. If Son Goku Heavenly Salvation isn't in play in your battle area, you may play this card from your hand. So just a word to the wise, only play him out that way. No point paying free energy for him, unless you've got another thing that has Alliance. Other than that, you just pay the 4, get the familial bonds out, and then slap this down for free. Because it works well with his second ability. So, auto once per turn. When this card is switched to rest mode by Alliance, if you only have Son Goku, Son Gohan Adolescence, Son Goten, and or Trunks Youth cards in play in the battle area, choose this card and up to 1 of your battle cards and switch them to active mode. So, again, another reason to only play it when you bring this out is because you activate this card's Alliance skill, rest Goku and something else, and then Goku can stand that card back up along with himself for you to then attack with. Which is pretty good. Or you can stand the Alliance up, as I found out. We'll show you that in the game, but kind of die. So, but yeah, that was a funny discovery, which I found out at the tournament when I was playing the deck. Anywho, enough anecdotes. Oh my god, so many 4-drops. Okay, 2 cards aren't 4-drops, as are the rest of this pile. So, starting with our 4-drops, we have the 1 copy of Son Gohan the Avenger. So, it's a 4-drop 20k power. He has counter attack. If you lead cards red, negate the attack and play his card. His permanent is during your opponent's turn, you reduce the energy cost of his card in your hand by 2. And his auto is when you play his card during your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your opponent's lead cards or battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the duration of turn. So, he's kind of the reason why there's only the 2 copies of Helping Hand, because I needed something to swap out. I only run 1 because I only have the 1, so if you have more, probably good idea to run more just for the sake of it. And yeah, it's just a nice little card, comes out, negates an attack, reduces their stuff, and it means you have a 20k beater on the field, or something to just rest with Alliance. Because the more powerful units you have, the better. So next on our 4-drops, and I'm going to explain these guys together because they're basically the same. We have 3 copies of Son Goten Adventuring Out, and 3 copies of Trunks Adventuring Out. Oh, Out Adventuring. Same difference. So, Gohan is a, well, they both have EX Evolve, hence the reason to play. So the EX Evolve onto a red, so example Goten, he evolves onto a red Goten with an energy cost of 2, which we have because of our Exalted Trios. Trunks is similar, it's a red Trunks Trio with an energy cost of 2. Goten's auto is when a card evolves into this card and your leader is Son Gohan, Adolescence obviously. You draw a card, you switch this guy back to active mode, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 less and KO it. So he comes out, switches himself back up, draws you a card and pops something. And he's got 15k, so after that he's just a beat stick. Trunks is 10k, but he's a blocker with Revenge. And when the card evolves into this, if your leader is Son Gohan Adolescence, you draw a card and then switch him back to active mode. So he doesn't do as much turning back up, but it's because he's a blocker, so that's where you get your bonuses. Next we have 4 copies of Dependable Brothers Son Gohan, one of which for me is special, but you know, just saying. So he has EX Evolve for 1 red and a colourless onto Gohan Adolescence with an energy cost of 3, which at the moment we have 2 of in the deck, which are Hope of the People and Helping Hand. So EX Evolve, he has Double Strike, and the auto of when the card evolves into this card, you draw 2, then if there are no other battle cards in play in your battle area, choose up to 1 green Son Goten card and 1 green Trunks card with an energy cost of 4 from your drop and play them. So on place he brings these guys out if you don't have anything else in play. Means you can recycle them and reuse them, and you can kind of send Trunks off and let Goten die. So, and the drawing 2 is just helpful. I think it's a double striker, which again can be fueled into your alliance. Which brings us to our next 4-drop, which is Son Gohan, Son Goten, Familial Bonds, which again is at 4. So it has Energy Exhaust, comes in rest when you put in your energy. Alliance Red Green. So this card gains power, well, gains a total power equal to the cards that switch to rest mode, and triple strike for the duration of the battle. And then its auto is when you play this card, activate this skill. For the duration of the turn, when your opponent uses a skill to play a battle card, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their life and places them in the drop. So at the moment, if your opponent illegally plays Shigesh, you deal them 2 damage and call the ref. But you know, that's kind of like the only thing that I can think of that would affect it. But the main thing is that it's our kind of like our win con with the alliance, because alliance is on the attack, so you declare that like after the counter stage, like right, alliance, rest these, gain power, gains triple strike. So pretty useful. And yeah, it's our win con because triple strike, and if you use your leader skill beforehand to increase power of everything else, and you have like the Goku and something else that are just buff, this guy gains a lot of power. And kills them, hopefully. And we have 2 copies of the 5-drop Full Power of Broly Resonant Evolution. So 5-drop 20k power. He has EX Evolve onto a Broly BR with an edge cost of 4 using 1 red and 2 green. We don't have that, but it's an option. He has Energy Exhaust Alliance, which is the same as this one. He gains power and then triple strike for duration of battle. And he does have the perk of, if you play this with Evolve, it can't be carried by your opponent. But we don't have an evolution target. We have the 2 copies of Broly in here because it's our backup alliance. In case like we can play it, so why not? Again, it's alliance, so it's triggering cards in the deck. It's not necessarily have to use a Gohan alliance card. It's just anything with alliance. And 2 copies means we can have 6 cards that can do triple strike, and if not, it's just charge fodder because it's red green. So it's a win-win. And with that being said and done, that is the Red Gohan deck profile. So as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. We do love seeing them, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.